please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Slapped out and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody. So what a game last night between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. Actually, what a great 2 games this week between those two teams. They just were incredible hockey games to watch. I'm really glad I live streamed during both of them. It was hockey at its absolute best. And you cannot tell me that there's anybody out there who doesn't want to see these two teams meet up in the playoffs. It's going to have to be a second round series. Obviously, they're the top 2 teams in the Atlantic. It's not going to be in the first round. It's going to have to be in a second round, assuming both teams win their first round matchups. But oh my God, do I want a playoff series between the Lightning and the Bruins. Almost just as bad as I want one between the Flames and Oilers. Those would be absolute dream playoff matchups this season. And, I mean, we got a good chance of getting at least one, if not both of those. And you can bet I will be watching as much of that as I possibly can. You can probably hear my voice is still just shot from last night. I was screaming the whole time. It was a ridiculously great game to watch. Boston on Tuesday night goes into Tampa Bay, squeaks out a 2-1 win. Huge win for them on the road. And then Tampa comes into Boston last night, goes up 3-0 in the game. Boston comes back to make a game of it, but Tampa ends up coming away with a 5-3 win. Huge win for Tampa Bay, and again, I'm not surprised that the road team won both of the matchups. It feels like that's the kind of thing that happens when these two teams meet up. They're so evenly matched. They're so good against each other. They play such hard-fought games against each other. I'm really not surprised at all. I mean, it was a hell of a 2 games as far as the NHL is concerned. And it was hockey at its absolute best. I mean, it felt like both games felt like a playoff game the entire way through. You could tell that these two teams have a huge rivalry between them. They do not like each other at all. It was very, very intense. We had fights in both games. We had 1 fight in the first game on Tuesday, 2 fights, and a ton more scrums in the game last night. Full-on line brawl at one point in the game last night, which was just awesome to watch. I was losing my mind watching that. I was so happy. That was absolutely hockey at its best. 94 total penalty minutes between the Bruins and Lightning last night. That is old-time hockey, baby, and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's as good as it gets, and watching those games are why I love the sport of hockey. And every time I see a game like that, it reminds me this is the greatest sport in the world. This is my favorite sport for a reason, and it is just 100% pure entertainment and pure awesome to watch. And it was incredible. It was a ridiculously good game last night. And again, I'm pretty sure I said this during the stream. If I was trying to get someone new into hockey, someone who didn't watch hockey before or doesn't know a lot about it, and I was trying to get them into hockey, last night's Bruins Lightning game would 100% be a game that I would show them and be like, here, you want to see hockey? You want to see how great this is and how much fun this sport is? Watch this game. Here you go. And how could you not love hockey after that? And never mind once we get into the playoffs. I mean, once the playoffs start, you show anybody one period of playoff hockey, and if they're going to like it, they're going to be hooked. They're going to be hooked into the sport that quickly because the playoffs are on a whole other level of insane. But last night and just this past week's games between the Bruins and Lightning have shown how great this sport can be and how much fun it is, how awesome it is to watch, the intensity, the physicality, the downright violence at times, but then the incredible goal scoring, the incredible goaltending. Just 2 incredibly good, talented teams going at it, 2 of the best in the entire league. And they put on an absolute show. And at the end of the day, that's what this is. Sports are entertainment. They are, of everything that they are, competition, everything that they are entertainment. the point is to entertain the fans, and that is 100% happening right now in the NHL. That was 100% happening this week between the Bruins and Lightning. What we watched this past week was pure entertainment. These two teams put on an absolute show for the fans, and I'm sure the fans loved absolutely every second of it. I know I did. I know my friends were hyped last night watching that game. The arenas, I mean, the people there, talk about incredible atmosphere. Those both rinks in Tampa Bay and in Boston were really, really loud, really, really awesome atmospheres. I mean, it's the best that the NHL has to offer, and I wish every game was like that. Obviously, it's a little more rare now that we get matchups like that where the rivalry is that big, where the intensity is that high, especially in the regular season. You don't see it very often in the regular season, but we definitely saw it this past week, these last two games between these teams, and again, I am now just begging for a playoff series between these two. We have got to see Tampa Bay versus Boston in the playoffs. It has to happen. Tampa's got to win their first round series. Boston's got to win their first round series. And that second round matchup will be Boston versus Tampa Bay. And we have got to see it. I said the number one playoff series that I wanted to see this year was Edmonton versus Calgary, and it still is. That Battle of Alberta has gotten so hot and so heated this season, and I mean, that rivalry is full on back, so I really do need to see Edmonton and Calgary in the playoffs. But number two right now, the second number two series I want to see in the postseason this year, Tampa Bay versus Boston. These two teams, huge rivalry now, absolutely hate each other. And it's been building over the years. Since they got into the same division, Tampa and Boston have always kind of been building that rivalry and really playing tough games against each other. And they've both been good teams for the most part over the past 5 years, particularly. They've been good teams, so they play a lot. They're fighting for a high end position. They've played in the playoffs a couple years back, so. It makes sense that this rivalry is building the way that it has, but man, has it really kind of come on and exploded this season. And these two teams go at it every single time they play. But man, I need to see a playoff series between these two teams. It will be absolutely incredible to watch. And just like the last two games have been between these two, it will be absolutely incredible. Hockey at its best, and I just hope that it happens. So, with that, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to my Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.